Why The Breakfast Club? Because I'm a child of the late 80s and 90s. Um, and John Hughes films were, you know, a big part of that time period. And I don't think anybody depicted high school better than John Hughes. Um, those, the Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, um, 16 Candles. There's an emotional realism that treats high school like it is. It's for some people, high school's about survival. For some people, it's about thriving. I just had the realization that I'm coming up on my 20-year high school reunion this year in 2024. That terrifies me. There's that quote that true terror is knowing that the people you went to high school will one day run the country. Um, it's yeah, like that thought does not bring me comfort. Um, and Breakfast Club is one of those movies that, for me, is almost a perfect movie. It brings back all those mixed feelings about um, growing up and you know who are you and you know and again, I'm very anti authority. um, there's just something in me that if you tell me to do something, I need to know why. Like, I'm not going to just do something. I'm very anti authority, have been pretty much my whole life. Sorry, Mom. um, and and Breakfast Club, the streak of anti-authority is something that just speaks to me. You know, Bender throughout that film kind of rubs off on everybody, and he's a corrupting force in a lot of ways. um, but the at its core, that movie, you know, it's a beautiful film where you take it's a very realistic film in a lot of ways, where you take this, the preppy, the athlete, the druggy dropout, and you force them to interact. And a lot of those interactions are just real, and they feel real. And as somebody in high school who bounced around from all those cliques, like, yeah, the only one that's missing, I think, is you get the weird artistic kid. You do get her. Um, but there was no theater kid. Um, but like, Breakfast Club is almost a perfect movie. It's this beautiful film where they're all these characters start off hating each other and just shut up, and then end up you know becoming something special at the end of that film. Whether or not they even talk to each other for the rest of the year, who knows? Who cares? But for that moment, they're your um, They're your group, they're your team. They could have, yes, there are scenes that don't hold up to today's standards, um, but the movie wasn't created today. Molly Ringwald, even came out and said there are scenes in that movie that do not hold up in a post Me Too world. She's 100% right. But that movie wasn't speaking to a post Me Too world. That movie was created in the 80s, and it was speaking to what it was like to be a teenager with all those hormones and confusion and angst and anger and powerlessness. What it was like to be a teenager in the 80s. That's what that movie speaks to. And I was a teenager or I was a high schooler in the early 2000s, and I still relate to that film because that's what it felt like to be a teenager. So again, I hope I did the best to capture their likeness and do this incredible film justice and show it respect that it deserves, because it is by far one of my favorite films. All Destiny comic books available through Amazon.com or through us directly.